So a lot of people ask me what was the start of, or what was the beginning of our partnership with the Museum of Fine Arts. And I would say the school was built really with that partnership in mind. This is my 14th year as the head of the school, and when I interviewed for the job, I just remember being kind of astounded by the fact that we essentially share a campus with not only First Presbyterian Church, but also with the Museum of Fine Arts. We went to the museum and we said, hey, we would love for particularly our upper elementary and middle school students to be your guinea pigs in a sort of laboratory setting where we are involved in object-based learning to the extent that we can fit that into, or you can work around our current curriculum. How can we bring the museum objects into the life of our kiddos? And then how can you as the museum do research and enhance and make better object-based learning for a wider cross-section of Houston or even the world?
So art museums have really unique positions within communities as places of informal learning. So to partner with schools, teachers, students, and faculty makes sense to extend the learning that takes place in an academic day or in an academic setting into an environment where learning can be concretized by looking at works of art. Works of art are about ideas and humanity, and to be able to sort of work directly with students and teachers to extend what they're doing in their curriculum in an informal space can become a really powerful space for learning and partnership.
So one of the things that I've seen that I think is fantastic, that is a fruit of this relationship, is that now this partnership is going to live more in the curricular area rather than the fine arts. You know, being able to foster connections between a grade level team and the staff has been, just a fantastic benefit to our students. So much of what we do over here at Presbyterian with project-based learning, the collaboration that goes on between students, I think that is just strengthened every time they go to the museum.
So to think about being a lab school or a partnership in a lab school with MFAH, this really came out of the notion that we're in each other's backyards. And so to think about a lab school, what I imagine and what we've seen happen is the museum becomes a place for experimenting, a place to test theories and methodologies, a place to sort of put those ideas into practice, but also a way for the museum to work with teachers to really experiment in what's most relevant for students today. So it really does become very much like a laboratory situation where we get to experiment, test our ideas, and try those ideas over and over again to then apply new knowledge.
It's really important that students and teachers get to integrate museum experiences into their teaching and learning, because students get to see firsthand objects that are relevant to what they're talking about in the classroom. It's so impactful to be able to see great art and be inspired by it. Our teachers are really excited about getting into those museums and having more opportunities for students to get out of the classroom and learn from what we have just right around us.
When we first began, the students in lower school only went to docent-led tours. And if you fast forward to today, teachers feel equipped to lead self-guided tours. And that to me is fantastic.
It is extremely important for children to be involved with arts. For one thing, they learn the global value that is expressed through art, particularly this connection we have with the museum where they can see real pieces from long ago or even from modern times, and what the roles that they play in the world today. It teaches children to learn how to be patient, how to be flexible, particularly kids who are in middle school. They come with fixed ideas about results of how they want their artwork to turn out. But I always give them my example where I start off with something and end up with something quite different. So that helps them to be more appreciative, not to critique their work, but to enjoy the process. It's all about enjoying the process. And that develops that inner peace and inner joy that comes from dabbling with art, if you will.
When the school was founded, now almost 30 years ago, Mr. Marzio said he wanted Presbyterian school students to feel as at home in the halls of the Museum of Fine Arts as they did in the halls of Presbyterian School. And we have sort of taken that as our marching orders for our partnership with the museum moving forward.
When I think about the sort of future iterations of our partnership, I really imagine extending beyond what we're doing right now, which is, lots of student visits and collaboration with teachers, but really embedding our teaching and learning in each other's spaces.